I got to tell you, that is a lot of fun. And I don't even like reggae, but I like playing with somebody who is just so tight that they're like an atomic clock. They don't ever vary. I vary, and I could play with the beat. I could play ahead and behind or with it, and this drummer keeps on doing the same thing. It doesn't get distracted. How cool is that? So this was more reggae-ish than funkish, and it was 80 beats per minute, and wasn't a 4/4 timing. I don't know. But here's what the title of this segment is. This is 20.2. It's called Catching Up is Hard. So some of us try to have routines, like exercise or eating sensibly or behaving properly. But I have this routine. I try to post a blog every day. And sometimes when big projects come along, I get distracted and I stop doing it. And I go, well, I'll make it up later. Tomorrow I'll do 2 of them. Or a day later I'll do 3 of them. Well, this month I got 8 behind on the music and 4 behind on the words. And I had all the images. So I had to spend this last weekend catching up. And I can tell you, when you try to catch up, whether it's at the gym or on a diet or on having to write 10 pieces of music on Sunday, which I had to do, it is way harder than just doing it in the routine every day. If I do it every day, it takes minutes. If I try to figure out what was happening for the last 10 days that I missed writing a piece of music, it takes all day to figure it out. So that's what this theme is about. Catching up is incredibly difficult. You could be doing your exercise, going to the gym, losing weight, getting healthy, feeling fit, and then you go to a party and you eat a lot. And you don't feel like exercising the next day because you ate a lot yesterday and you're feeling pretty fat. And then another day goes by and another day. And pretty soon you go, hey, I just gained 5 pounds. I better get back to my routine. Not so easy. Catching up is incredibly hard, and I'm not sure you ever can catch up. For example, people talk about catching up on sleep. So if you go sleep deprived for a week and then you go, well, I'm going to sleep a lot for the next 2 days, are you really catching up? No. You don't ever catch up on sleep. You can't actually catch up on sleep. Now, when you're playing music with people, if you fall behind the beat, you can catch up with them, but if you do that too many times, you get fired. So you can't even catch up in music. Actually, I don't know if you can catch up in anything. It's more like pressing a reset button and starting again. And that's really a problem. So that's why I'm using reggae for this. 80 beats per minute. You know, reggae's kind of relaxed. It's laid back. The whole culture associated with it is laid back. You don't have to catch up. You just don't fall behind. oh, maybe I don't dislike reggae as much as I thought. You know, you don't know until you play with a reggae drummer, even though I don't know any reggae drummers. I don't know how many there are in New England. There must be some, but not so many around here. By the way, this drum machine thing, this is my Macintosh playing the drums. And I chose 8 different drummers today. I got a funk drummer, a reggae drummer, a jazz drummer, a brush drummer, a Hindu drummer, a Middle Eastern drummer, a few more. So there are 8 segments in the show, and I'm just somewhat at random picking a different drummer for each segment. And the segments, where do they come from? Well, the catching up is hard. Instead of catching up, I thought 8 segments in a show, I write 7 blogs in a week, and I write 1 column. 7 shows, 7 blogs is 7 shows, and a column is the 8th. So instead of having to make up new topics every week, I've already got 8 from having written about them. But I did make up 8 new drummer parts, and I'll see if I can use them next week for my blog postings. And then I'll have to make up 8 new drummers. So basically the drummers are leading the show. I'm making up drummers in order to make up topics and then playing along with them. Seems like a crazy thing to do, but hey, relax, this is reggae.